Welcome to Game Crunch, your weekly video game podcast. My name is Mike Anastasia. With me today, we got Brandon.
Hello.
And we're here talking about games and things.
Games and things.
I don't know what's on the agenda today. Game of the year.
Yeah, Game of the Year mostly.
Yeah, we have Game of the Year, or what, Game Awards nominees have been announced. So we'll go through those like we usually do.
Yep.
And Brandon's played a couple things. And that's
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, this should keep you busy for a while, though. All right, you ready to get into it?
Sounds good.
All right, tell us what you've been playing.
So I picked back up and started playing Tokyo Extreme Racer again because it's fully released and it was announced to have a console version coming out next year, but the full release of it released on PC, and it's really fucking good. As simple as that. It's a really fun like arcade racer that's very enjoyable and has a lot of little intricacies to it and the way it's played. It seems very simplistic, where like you're just driving around at night, flashing your lights at cars and then challenging them to races. But certain days and certain things play into like who you can challenge and whatnot, and that kind of thing is super interesting. And then on top of that, the skill-based system where you have to like unlock certain skills and things, and since the racing works differently than a normal racing game, where basically what you do is when you start racing, you start side by side wherever you're at on the map at that point in time, and then you just try to get as far away from that person by being able to like drive past them and drive as far away as fast as possible. And when you do that, it like has like a health bar like thing. So like if the enemy catches up to you and like passes you, then like your health starts going down. But if you get far enough away from them, you can get their health down to 0. And once you get their health down to 0, you win the race. So there's no like racing like from point A to point B. It's more of like skill-based racing. Like, can you stay out in front ahead of this person long enough? Can you pass them at the beginning? Can you stay in front of them and not get repassed by them? And it's kind of like a little tug-of-war thing more so than a normal racing game. It's really cool. It's really fun.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's a very different kind of racing game, and it's very enjoyable, and like the vibe is just, it's something you can easily get lost in if you like racing games. Like there's a lot of tuning, there's a lot of customization, there's a lot of elements of kind of like an RPG, like the Game Boy Mario Golf, but think of that but with racing. It's super cool. So yeah, very good game. I like it a lot. Other than that, I got offered a 3-month subscription to Horizon Plus. Horizon Plus is the Quest VR subscription service, kind of like Game Pass, but you could just play a bunch of not free, but on the service VR games. And I tried a bunch of different VR games because I was getting back into VR with Luminous Arise, which I want to talk about that in just a second. But I played like Angry Birds VR, which is really cool. It works different from like normal Angry Birds. You can like get yourself moved around the map, and you sometimes have to do that to get like a different perspective to see like where the pigs are and stuff like that. That was pretty cool. And I played like a bowling VR game, which was just bowling, but it feels really nice. Like it does feel kind of like I'm playing Wii Bowling or whatever, but you know, it's cool shit like that, you know. It's simple games but really fun. So I did that, and I also played Luminous Arise, and the first time I played it I absolutely fucking adored it. However, I ended up refunding the game because there was an update to the Quest Air Link, which kind of broke the game, so I couldn't play it anymore in VR, which was the reason I bought the game in the first place. So I'm just kind of waiting for the next update to the Quest so that I can play it again and so that I can fix it and whatnot. Because it was a really cool game and it was really fun to play in VR. It was very interesting. It's definitely an experience much like, you know, Rez or much like Tetris Effect. But if I can't have that experience, it's not as good when you're just playing it flat screen. So, yeah. But those games are pretty much all that I've played. I really did not play that much at all. And I did think that having that discussion was going to take longer than this. But yeah, I didn't really play a whole lot.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, not every week after we played a lot. I mean, like I said, I only really played Hyrule Warriors this week, so
Mm-hmm.
I'll update on that next week. So we got Game of the Year stuff to talk about.
Yes, we have a lot of Game of the Year stuff to talk about, and
Mhm.
as you can see, I've thrown up a stream so that we could talk about it because it's their site is really fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So I can fandangle it by going to the ones that I've voted for after I've already voted. So you could see the actual like things. I just got to open them up individually in their own windows. Do you see this and everything?
Yep.
All right, so let's start then with the most anticipated game.
Okay.
So the category is most anticipated game, and this is recognizing an announced game that is demonstratively illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward, which has changed from last year because last year I'm pretty sure it mentioned that a game that was releasing in the next year that was doing something like this. So, you know, I'm pretty sure they did this because Grand Theft Auto 6 is on here for the third year in a row, I think. So,
which
you know.
I mean, I really feel like a lot of these, like we really just don't even know enough on to really be like, oh yeah. I mean, aside from like pedigree and things, they're like, yeah. I mean, they could be good based on the name and what we've played previously in the series, but who knows? Like 007 First Light. Who fucking knows? Who knows? I mean, it's 007 game. It could be cool, but most of them are not.
So I watched. They actually had a while ago a little like hour-long thing of it where they showed like a map and like the person that's playing James Bond, because you're playing as young James Bond in it, and it's actually a third-person shooter made by the Hitman developers. And,
I guess there was. I did
it
see
looks
recently
really
there was a story. Yeah, they did a. I guess their pitch for the game was they took Hitman and just replaced him with James Bond. And that was their pitch for the game.
That's totally fine because the Hitman devs make really good games. They are those Hitman games 1 through 3 that they made, like the remakes of Hitman, are phenomenal games. They're so much fun. So, you know, if it's just more of that, but now I'm James Bond, I'm totally fine with that, honestly.
Fair.
But let me read the nominees. So you just talked about 007 First Light. That's our first nominee. Our second nominee is Grand Theft Auto 6 for the third year in a row. Our third nominee is Marvel's Wolverine. Our fourth nominee is Resident Evil Requiem. And our fifth nominee is Witcher 4. So, you mentioned that a lot of these things are only like via pedigree. Like, we don't know enough about them to be like, yo, I'm really hyped for these games because we haven't got like big, you know, things about them. And I totally agree. Like, especially with Witcher 4. We literally only know that Witcher 4 is going to be in Unreal Engine 5, and they showed like a 30-second clip of it. That is all we know. We know nothing else. And it's just like, okay, I don't care. That's too far out. I actually don't even think this is coming out in 2026, to be honest.
I would be
Marvel's
shocked.
Wolverine, I don't know if it will actually make it to 2026, but if it does, it's probably going to be like a December, like, or November or September release. Somewhere around there, you know? It'll be a later release. And we've seen a lot from Marvel's Wolverine, and it doesn't really... I'm not really super interested, but I do think it looks good.
Yeah. Then
we have GTA 6, which continuously gets hyped up. We've seen 2 trailers from it, and I mean, it's GTA 6. We haven't seen any gameplay still, technically. Like, we've seen little clippets and snippets of it in those trailers, but not enough that it's like, oh, well, this is actually like a substantial amount of gameplay. And then there's Resident Evil Requiem, which literally comes out in 2 months. And that's actually where I'm coming from here. My vote goes to Resident Evil Requiem because, 1, I know it releases in like 2 months. 2, I've seen some on-screen and off-screen gameplay of the game. And 3, it's fucking Resident Evil. So that's where I'm coming from when it comes down to this category. And that's my pick. I don't know what you vote for, though.
I would pick Resident Evil Requiem too, because I think that's the only one on there that I would actually like very strongly consider buying just already.
Yeah.
I was already eyeing. There's interestingly, there's a bundle coming out for the Switch. It's
the Resident Evil 7 and like Resident
7,
Evil
8, 9
Village one. Yes.
I forget what they has a fancy name, like I don't remember, but
it's $90.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You pay $20 extra and you get
a whole
games. Yeah, it's a great bundle.
Yeah, and it's only available, I guess, for the first month, and then after that, it's being removed. So yeah, it definitely gives me incentive to like want to do it. But I only really dabbled in Resident Evil 7. I never played 8, and I never played obviously Requiem because that's not out yet. But yeah, I'm really excited for it. I mean, I do love Resident Evil. I just have not played the last two.
7 is very good. I really enjoyed Village, and I think you will also.
Mhm.
And I mean, I'm excited for Requiem, obviously. So
Yeah.
I've always liked Resident Evil. It's not been like my favorite franchise, but every single time I get to play it, I'm always happy about it.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually played one where I've been, well,
6 exists.
parts of 6. Um,
You and me both had the exact same thought. Yeah. And you know what? I even think 6 is good in co-op. 6 was
yeah, I
fun
was
in
gonna say I had
co-op.
a blast. I played through the entire
Mhm.
game of 6 in co-op, and that was
Yep.
so much fun. But some of the stuff was just like dumb, 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 dumb.
Oh yeah.
But I thought there was some really cool stuff that they were able to do because of the co-op, depending on which character you
I
were
agree.
playing
Yeah.
as. So I
I
thought
think
that was
5
really
has
neat.
better co-op, but that's another story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Nice.
Like I said, I like Resident Evil. I'm excited for this game. These others, haven't seen enough to be excited for them. Other
Yeah.
than maybe 007, which I got like a whole hour of gameplay for, and I like Hitman games, so like it literally for me would have been either Requiem or 007 First Light out of all of these. Because one, I don't believe Grand Theft Auto is releasing now when they say it's releasing yet again.
Mhm.
Two, I don't know when Marvel's Wolverine's ever going to come out. And three, Witcher 4, I like Witcher 3, but I was overwhelmed by it in a way where I just didn't do a lot of things and it
Yeah.
didn't grab me as much as everyone else. But on top of all of that, moving to Epic, Unreal Engine 5, I do think it's going to kind of make it not stand out as much, perhaps. And
Mhm.
I'm not really excited for that. So it's Resident Evil for me. That's my
Yeah.
pick.
I agree. 100%.
Yeah. So we'll move on to the next one, which was best adaptation, which is just stupid. This one's bad, actually. I think this one's very bad, just in general.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get it to come up, but yet again, we got some problems here. Even my workaround now isn't working. So you know what I'm gonna do?
Hmm.
I had a video. Let's go over here. Let's go to videos. I have a video. Yeah, we'll watch. We'll watch this man go through shit, but we're gonna have to go backwards because I'm not starting at the beginning. Because for some reason, the fucking first thing you get to pick, right, is best. I mean, is game of the year. The first thing you get to pick is game of the year out the gate. So it's like,
Yeah.
bro, what the fuck? All right, so we're gonna go with best adaptation. In which case, yeah, best adaptation is the Minecraft movie, Devil May Cry, Splinter Cell Death Watch, which I did not even know released.
Yeah, I did not know either. I
The
remember them
last
talking
oh
about
god.
it at one point.
Yeah, same, like last year. And then I guess it happened and I had no idea.
Surprise.
The Last of Us Season 2 and Until Dawn. So I'm going to let you know right now, my pick for this is actually the Minecraft movie. Not because it's a good adaptation. No,
Uh-huh.
it's not a good adaptation. But I had the most fun watching that movie because it's just really dumb fun. It feels like those old bad movies that you would watch as a kid, like the fucking
Yeah.
Cat in the Hat or something. It
Mhm.
felt like that as a movie, and I had fun watching it. It was really stupid, but it was the kind of stupid where it still had some charm to it. So I enjoyed the movie for what it was, but it is a bad adaptation of Minecraft as a whole. But it still did something which was make me care about the movie while watching it. Devil
Mhm.
May Cry messed up a lot of the different characters. Like they got their theme songs and other such stuff incorrect and gave them to the wrong characters. I didn't know Splinter Cell existed. I've heard nothing but bad things about Last of Us Season 2, and Until Dawn, I've heard nothing but awful things about. So, there's one glaring omission on this,
Uh-huh.
which is Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Why the fuck is that not here?
Oh, did
Um,
that come out this year too?
no. So here's the thing. It came out December 24th, 2024. The way the Game Awards work, by their own admission, is anything that's released after the last Game Awards is fair game for the next Game Awards.
Yeah, they don't actually do that.
Actually, you'll see later on, we get 2 other things in here that released in December of last year. But this didn't. This got snubbed completely for no real reason other than I guess they just forgot about it.
Maybe that rule doesn't apply to movies. Who fucking knows?
Yeah, exactly. Because I will spoil something right now. You will see Indiana Jones later on this list, and
Not
Indiana Jones
Game
release.
Of the Year.
No, not for Game of the Year, but in this list, you will see Indiana Jones later on in the Game Awards list for nominations. So, and it's not for the DLC, it's for the actual game. And it's on here twice, I believe. So, rules apply to that, but not to this, I guess. Legitimately, if Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was here, it would be my vote, because it is actually just a really good fucking movie overall. And it's very fun. Even, I think, if you don't like Sonic, you could still have a lot of fun with the movies, because they are just enjoyable, kids movies, but they harken back to the old times of kids movies, ones we used to watch. It feels kind of like watching one of those. So that's why it would be my pick, but it got snubbed. So yeah, not Devil May Cry, not Last of Us Season 2, sure as fuck not Until Dawn, and I haven't even seen the Splinter Cell TV show, but other people did say it was quite good. So I don't know, maybe I'll look that one up. But right now, for me, it's the Minecraft movie. I don't even know what you would pick out of these, if anything.
I haven't watched any of them. I probably would go with Last of Us Season 2 just because I like the first one, but...
Oh, then you wouldn't go with Last of Us Season 2.
The
game, they fucked up Season 2.
Yeah.
And not only that, but it doesn't tell the full story. And
yeah, because they're planning on splitting it into 2 seasons.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That I knew.
Mm-hmm.
But I also never played Last of Us 2 anyways. So who knows? I might not even like that either. But that would be the one I'd be most interested in watching. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're gonna go to what's the next one? Oh, best multiplayer game. So best multiplayer game, and I think that's what we're on next. Yeah, best multiplayer game.
Should be.
Oh, look, it actually loaded for me. Best multiplayer game. Outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective game genre or platform. So the nominees are Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6, Elden Ring Night Reign, Peak, and Split Fiction. My vote, as you've already heard me talking about the last few weeks, does go to Arc Raiders.
Yeah.
The viewers can't see it, but you...
I know.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have no horses in multiplayer, so I would probably pick Arc Raiders just because of what you said about it, because it sounds very interesting. I don't know. I know you talked about Elden Ring Night Reign at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
I mean, that sounded okay. I have no fucking clue what Peak is.
Peak is very good. I haven't talked about it, but we might come back to that later on. Okay. Peak is actually very fun. So Peak is a 4-player co-op game where you and a group of friends have to climb a procedurally generated mountain.
Okay.
And it's you have the stamina, kind of like Breath of the Wild. So it's kind of also a puzzle on how you can climb to different parts of the mountain. And there's things you can bring with you, you can put a backpack on and bring food and water and candy and stuff, and the candy will make it so you can regain stamina because it gives you more energy. But eventually you'll have a sugar crash because you ate it. So it's all these little intricacies that work together, but the overall point is trying to climb the mountain with friends. It's very fun. It's really enjoyable co-op game. It did incredibly well, and it also has an interesting story for the way it was created. Some developers just went off on a vacation, and while they were on vacation, they were like, hey, we should make a game for fun in 2 weeks during this vacation. So during their free time, while they were on vacation hanging out with each other, they made this game, and then they released it when they got back. And they thought nothing of it. They thought it would just be a little silly thing that they made, but it fucking exploded, and everyone played it.
Oh, good for them. That's great.
So, yeah. Cool game. And then Split Fiction is another game from the people that made It Takes Two, as well as A Way Out. And honestly, I've heard nothing but great things about this, but I still have not been able to get around to playing it, which is such a damn shame. because my co-op partner that I normally play this game with has had a lot of stuff that has happened to him this year, so I have not had a chance to play it with him. But
Fair.
yeah, I really want to play Split Fiction. It might have been Split Fiction if I got to play it, because I do really enjoy Hazelight Studios games that they make. They've made some great games. They've made some fantastic co-op experiences. I think It Takes Two is a phenomenal game, and I think A Way Out is very slept on. I mean, I think they're just really good at what they do. So, yeah.
Okay.
Moving on from that, we're at Best Sports and Racing Game. And the nominees for that are EA Sports FIFA Cup 26. I think that's what FC stands for. It might not. I'm not sure. I'm not a football guy. F1 25, Mario Kart World, and Rematch, as well as Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I've played Mario Kart World, and I've played Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I've played a little bit of Rematch, and then the other two are not genres I normally dabble in. F1's a little too technical for me, and I don't really enjoy it as much as other racing games, and I don't really care for football games, so there's that. Legitimately, and I think I've mentioned this before, I think Cross Worlds is better than Mario Kart in every conceivable way. So I actually vote Cross Worlds in this case, because what they did that does what Mario Kart World was attempting to do with its intermission thing is so much more interesting and has more character to it than Mario Kart World does, period. And I've had a lot more fun playing Cross Worlds than Mario Kart, just in general. Rematch is basically a reskin of Rocket League, but actually just playing soccer. So it's a cool game. It's a neat idea, but it didn't really, again, appeal to me that much because I don't like soccer, football, that sort of thing. So yeah, my vote for this one is Sonic Racing Cross Worlds.
Okay. Yeah, I'd probably vote Sonic Racing Cross Worlds too. Kind of same thing with the other one. I mean, I played Mario Kart, but
Yeah.
I know we spoke about that quite a bit. There's definitely some opportunities there. And
and Nintendo has made every decision incorrectly about that game. I just don't know. The updates that they've had that they've put out, aside from the one that allowed you to do what is it called? Knockout with friends online, which the fact that it didn't launch with that is insane. Aside from that one element, they've made all the wrong decision to try to push people to playing the mode that makes it so you're forced to play intermissions. And intermissions are just kind of boring. Driving from one place to another with not that much substance racing from one place to another is just kind of a really big letdown. The stages are fine. I like the stages when you're actually on the racing stages, but the open world aspect just gets in the way of Mario Kart World so much so that it really hurts the game just in general.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm as hard on the intermissions, but they diminish the stages. I think you just don't get enough.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's really the bigger issue. I think honestly, if I don't have a fundamental problem with the intermissions, and I think most people honestly wouldn't if you did multiple laps in the actual stages.
I agree.
But because they, for whatever reason, opted not to do that, I'm guessing because they didn't want the matches to take too long. I think that ended up being just a detriment to it. So,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, Mario Kart 8 got a lot of
attention
afterwards.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't expect this will be the last time we'll talk about this game, but just in its current state, it's just not the best.
I agree. I think if they do what they did with Mario Kart 8 with this game, it has potential to be one of the better Mario Karts, but they haven't done anything so far except everything to make it worse. So it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on.
The website's actually working pretty well for me right now, honestly.
Okay. All right.
So I don't know, something obviously flipped. It seems to be working a lot better now. So next category, best sim and strategy.
Yes.
Final Fantasy Tactics. Jurassic World Evolution 3, Sid Meier's Civilization 7, Tempest Rising, The Alters, and 2 Point Museum. That's actually a really good category. There's a lot of stuff.
I think so too. I think there's a lot of good stuff here.
I mean, my first 7.
I know, and that's fine. I totally understand that. I've heard so many good things about The Alters. Like, I've heard this game is awesome.
I never heard of it.
So essentially,
I think
what
it's one
it
I did not know on the list.
All right, so essentially, at least the way I understand this game, from what I've seen people say about it, is you play as a scientist on this one planet that is like trying to do all the tasks that they need to do to, to analyze this, that, and the other, and what's going on the planet. However, you're able to create alternate versions of yourselves, and based on what you do, they have different personality traits, and then you use those alters to solve other problems and do other tasks. But there's like a very real, like, existential dread to it. Like, hey, I'm using this person, but it's actually just me if I had made this decision instead of this other decision. And it's got like a lot of really weird moments like that like have very like existential, like, horror kind of elements to it. It seems interesting. It's not a scary game. It's just one of those things where it's like very, oh, okay, this is a bit weird, like, I decided to do this instead of this, and this is the version of me that existed, and this is what they are like, and this is the one that's going to help me with this task. And this is the way I've had it explained to me. I don't know how true this is, but the idea of that and having different versions of yourself is like really cool to me. That sounds like a super neat kind of strategy sim game aspect that you could have. So, yeah. Out of all of these, I voted for Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles, because it is Final Fantasy Tactics, and Final Fantasy Tactics is a amazing strategy RPG. So, I mean, I it was kind of a no-brainer for me personally. But Civ 7, at least with how much you have loved this game, I bet is also going to get a lot of love from other people as well.
Not if you go to the Civ Reddit.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. They still fucking hate this game.
Okay.
They hate it with a goddamn passion. And I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen such an unhappy community anywhere on the internet.
That checks out. Well, you know what? You vote for what you care about. I'll vote for what I care about, and then we'll probably both lose.
Yeah, I mean, I voted for Civ 7, so obviously.
And again, I'm going Final Fantasy Tactics because it's just a really good game in general, and this remake of it is very good. All right.
Did you play it?
I've played a little bit of it, but not a lot yet. So, all right, moving on. We're gonna go with Best Family Game. Best Family Game is the best game that's appropriate for a family to play, irrespective of genre or platform. The nominees are Donkey Kong Bonanza, Lego Party, Lego Voyagers, Mario Kart World, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and Split Fiction. I want to vote for Donkey Kong in one of these, so I voted for Donkey Kong here because I really liked Donkey Kong. It's a very good game, but yeah, I mean, I know it has the co-op element to it, and I know it's not the typical family game, but I think it's a good game, and I'd rather it win than probably anything else on here, unless I play Split Fiction, and it's like very, very good. But yeah, it's Donkey Kong. It's Donkey Kong for me. This game's just so good. So yeah,
that's what I voted for as well.
Yeah. And then we'll go to Best Fighting Game. This is a stupid category because it is comprised of 3 compilations of old fighting games, 1 beta, and a game that not a lot of people have talked about at all. So I'm guessing there wasn't really that many fighting games that came out this year. So 2XKO, which is Riot Games' new fighting game, is in beta currently, and it's on here as a nominee. Capcom Fighting Collection 2, which is a collection of a lot of different Capcom games, including Capcom vs. SNK, which is a very good game. Actually, I'm going to double check that because they've had so many Capcom. Yeah, this is on my wish list actually.
Okay.
This is Capcom versus SNK 1 and 2, Power Stone 1 and 2. Yeah. No contest. This has Power Stone in it. Yeah, this is my pick. Capcom Fighting Collection 2 is my pick because it has Power Stone 1 and 2 and SNK 1 and 2 versus Capcom. Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, and Virtua Fighter Revo World Stage. So, Virtual Fighter 5 Revo World Stage. So essentially, what Virtua Fighter 5 Revo World Stage is a game that is kind of to get Virtua Fighter on the modern hardware before 6 comes out next year. And it's just a remaster of one that already existed with some extra costumes and stuff. A Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, which is here, which is like the original Mortal Kombat games and whatnot. It's broken. I've actually read in multiple places that it is broken on both PC and console, and it is completely unplayable. So
The Legacy
I don't know.
Collection?
Yeah, I don't know why that's even on here.
Yeah, I know I've heard it's broken on Switch too, as
Mm-hmm.
well. Yeah, and that's exactly why I did not vote for it.
Yeah,
I voted for
and
Capcom.
yeah, Capcom Fighting Collection 2 is such a good. It's a good collection. Then we got Best RPG, and those nominees are Avowed, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, and The Outer Worlds 2. My pick's Claire Obscure Expedition 33. It's as simple
That's
as
what
that.
I voted for as well.
This game, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little preview. This game's a fucking masterpiece, and you should definitely play it. It's simple as that. It's very, very, very good. So, yeah. Moving on, because that one's pretty cut and dry. I mean, I could say other stuff like Avowed is just mid but not bad, or that oh, look at that, it broke again. Oh no, it didn't. Or that Monster Hunter Wilds has a lot of updates, but not a lot of performance updates, and is good, very, very good. I actually like Monster Hunter Wilds a lot, but it is just an absolute mess. I've heard nothing but great things about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but I have not touched it yet, so I don't have any opinion on it, but I've heard nothing but great things about it. But yeah, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is just fantastic. So there you go. Best action adventure game is next category. And we got Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yote, Hollow Knight Silksong, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and Split Fiction. Here's where that Indiana Jones thing comes in that I told you about. I believe that released on December 7th. Let's see when that did release. When
Sounds about
did
right.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle come out? It came out on December 9th. So, around the time of the Game Awards. So again, going back to the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 thing that I talked about, definitely it should have been counted if this is counted. But yeah, from everything I've seen, and this is kind of a game that I feel confident saying just seeing it is grounds for being like, yeah, I'll give that my vote. I've seen nothing but fantastic things for Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. So I actually went with that for best action adventure here. I've played Silksong and it's very good, but I do feel like there's a bit of tedium that sets in very quickly with that game over Hollow Knight, the original, and I don't quite know why, but it's not as appealing to me as the original. I don't know what to say there.
Sure.
Ghost of Yote is a very good game, no matter what anyone else says. But it is really just more of Ghost of Tsushima, but with a new protagonist and a new story. But it just feels a lot of like the same game, even though there are new elements to it, and we don't have the stances anymore. We have the weapons that you choose to fight enemies with, versus having the stances like you do in Ghost of Tsushima. But they do feel a lot of very similar in style. So there's that. And again, I've already told you, haven't played Split Fiction yet, and I don't really have an opinion on if I would vote for Indiana Jones. Like, I do agree that it's a really fucking good game. We all agree that it's a really fucking good game, but I don't know. Some just feels weird voting for it over any of these others here. Maybe it is because it's been so long since I played it, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure your vote's going to be Indiana Jones. Am I right?
Yeah, definitely Indiana
Yeah.
Jones.
Yeah.
It's such a strong game.
It is a
Honestly,
really good game.
I
Honestly, I'm thinking of maybe swapping my vote because even though has been a long time since I played it, when I did play it, it was really fucking good.
yeah, and
Did you
it
ever play the
definitely is.
DLC?
No, I've not.
Oh, okay.
I'm waiting because my Game Pass obviously that's done.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's not out on Switch 2 yet, and I do plan on buying it on there.
Ah, okay, okay.
But I'm also keeping my eyes open for a Black Friday deal on that game. The game actually has not had a significant price drop since it's come out.
I mean, it's
Uh,
good, so normally
yeah,
they'll do that
so
when it's a good game. You know,
oh yeah,
you could just look on eBay because you could probably find it pretty cheap on there.
probably. But not as cheap as you would expect. So
Okay.
yeah, at least the times that I've kind of checked for it anecdotally.
Well, you're here
So
with me right now, so let's go check. See what the last sell was. Oh, damn it! Oh wait, sorry, that's PlayStation.
yeah, that's the other thing. There's a lot more PlayStation than Xbox.
What the fuck? 49.50. Yeah, you're right. This is still super expensive.
Yeah, I mean, good for them. It's not a bad thing. Like
Yeah,
that.
no,
I
I
mean,
mean it's great.
yeah. hmm and I don't blame them because it's really good. But I'm just kind of like, maybe we'll see a Black Friday sale this year. I looked on because I use the app Deco Drops to kind of watch game prices, and I looked in there earlier today, and I was like, well, what's the lowest this price has ever gone physical? And it was like $64.99. I was like,
That's
okay,
crazy.
yeah.
That's actually nuts. Okay, so like I actually got something in the mail recently. It was from GameStop and it
Mm-hmm.
was their holiday buyer's guide. And you want to know the funniest thing about it?
Huh.
None of the games or anything in this guide has a price.
Oh, of course not.
That's not normal. Normally they have prices for their stuff, but I think this year they're just like, no, fuck you.
Yeah, and it's probably just they don't know. I mean, prices are just so crazy right now with the
Yeah.
tariffs and with different things going on. It's probably easier for them to be like, "Hey, here's the hot games. Call and check for prices," than it is
Yeah.
for them to put it out there and then for them to be wrong.
Yeah.
So,
So let's move on to the next one, which is best action game.
okay.
We have Battlefield 6, Doom: The Dark Ages, Hades 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, and Shinobi Art of Vengeance. I have played 4 of the 5 of these games. The only one I haven't played is Shinobi Art of Vengeance, which I know I'm going to love when I do play it, but I haven't yet. So, to be completely fair, based off of everything that is here, I voted for Hades 2. Hades 2 is
That's
just
what I
a
voted
really,
for too.
really good game. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, it's the best game on the list easily.
I think so too.
Yeah, I didn't even hesitate with that one. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I know where the rest of these games sit.
I'm so disappointed in Doom: The Dark Ages, just in general. But
I'm sure.
But these other, it's fine, but it's just fine. And when you go from something like Eternal and 2016 to something that's just fine, it's such a fucking disappointment. So, yeah, it is what it is. Moving on, best VR AR game. Out of all of these, the only one I've actually we gotta discuss this topic because it's really fucking weird.
Yeah.
So we were just talking about how Sonic 3 wasn't nominated and released after the Video Game Awards, and Indiana Jones was nominated and released after the Video Game Awards. Marvel's Deadpool VR is a nomination. That game released today, a few hours ago. No one's played it. How is it here?
That's dumb. That's super dumb.
Literally, this released 6 hours ago. And these nominations went up 2 days ago. So there is no way anyone could have even fucking played the game that is a nominee on here. So that is insane to me that it got a nomination on here when no one could play it yet.
Yeah, that is crazy. I mean, granted, they do say that the nominees, I think, are based on, what reviewers and game companies, I think they offer up the nominees, but still,
that
how much time could they actually play?
Like,
yeah, and the people voting on it
haven't played it.
Yeah, they definitely have not. So
Like,
it's not going to do well.
that's the crazy thing. So anyway, the nominees are Alien Rogue Incursion, Arcan Age, Ghost Town, Marvel's Deadpool VR, which legitimately came out today and no one has played, and The Midnight Walk. So I've seen some people play The Midnight Walk, and that game is kind of like Metroid Prime, but in the Nightmare Before Christmas land. So if that sounds really fucking cool to you, it is, and I want to play it in VR. So that got my vote.
That's what I voted for too.
Yeah,
But A, for me, I just vaguely recognize the name and it has a
mhm.
cool cover.
It
So
has a really neat aesthetic. You should like, you know what? I don't even have to say you should. I could just do this. Is it? Did I? What is it? The Midnight Walk. Okay. Like this shit's cool. Like yeah, it's literally like Metroid Prime as made by fucking uh Tim Burton. It looks really good. So
yeah, I'd say that kind of looks, that's how I would describe it from what I've
yeah.
seen.
So yeah, I like this game. This game looks really good. I have not got to play it, but it is the one I'm most excited to play. So that.
Yeah.
We got best mobile game, Destiny Rising, which is a mobile version of Destiny. Persona 5: The Phantom X, which is a new Persona game that's only mobile. Sonic Rumble, which is bad. Withering Waves, and hold on, Uma Musume Pretty Derby. Now, hear me out.
Okay.
I have played none of these. I have seen the funniest and the coolest clips of Uma Musume Pretty Derby. I've seen people literally doing like announcer voices and doing like voiceovers for their races in this game, and
Mm-hmm.
it's really cool. And the general idea of this game is super cool as well, and it's not like creepy the
Yeah.
way like you would think like a waifu anthropomorphized horse game would be very like gooner and creepy and shit like that. But it's actually surprisingly very wholesome and gets the correct information about the horses that the girls are representing, and they are based off of real horses, so much so that people have like donated to the real horses from playing this game.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
because of all of that wholesomeness and all that cool shit and the fun clips that I've seen, I voted for this because it feels like the most like chill mobile game out of all of these
Mm-hmm.
and the least offensive out of all of them. Like obviously you can wail huge in this game, but everyone seems to just be having fun when they play it. And even when like it's a sponsored thing, it doesn't feel forced and people end up playing it past their sponsorship. So I thought this one was pretty good, so I voted for it.
I didn't know any of these, so I just voted poorly and I just chose Persona 5.
Yeah, that one's a little bit of a mess, but it is what it is. Best
Yeah.
debut indie game. My vote actually uh, has pulled out of this, which this is going to make an interesting conversation. So,
Mm-hmm.
best debut indie game: Blueprints, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Despolete, Dispatch, and Megabonk. So, my vote, as you know from how much I really enjoyed this game, went to Megabonk. But the developer came forward and said to Jeff Keighley, I do not want to be in this category because I am another developer under a different name, and this is not my debut game.
Yeah.
I refuse to be in this category because I do not want to take this away from someone else because I am literally just another developer who is making this under a different name because they want to be anonymous, basically. That's what
Yeah.
they said. And they wanted him to remove them from the list, which he hasn't yet. So there's that. But I will say this: there's been a conspiracy theory going around that this
Mm-hmm.
game is made by a developer called Danny Dev.
Mm-hmm.
And Danny Dev was a guy who made a lot of very popular games, such as Muck, and also another game called Crab Game, which is basically Squid Game multiplayer, and it was very silly. And all his games he releases are free to play. And then like he does like little cosmetics or whatever for the game. But he was working on a game called Carlson, which people were very excited to play, and it was taking him too long. And his fan base got really rabid and crazy and harassed him off of the internet. So he stopped making games about, let's say 3 years ago. Yeah, he stopped making games about 3 years ago and disappeared from the internet because of the harassment. So it does look like the person that made Megabonk is actually the person that made these games, and they came back under a new name to avoid the harassment that they were getting from before and to continue to release games that they wanted to make. So that's what a lot of people theorized about this game. But with this person saying, hey, I've made games before in the past, this is not my debut game, I'm just under a new name because I want to be anonymous, it kind of lines up. And I feel like maybe the conspiracy theory is actually correct, and he just confirmed it for us. So there's that. I've heard nothing but great things about Dispatch. I've heard people super excited and been really enjoying this game. It's kind of like a Telltale game, but where you play in an agency that dispatches superheroes to, like, you know, fight crime and that sort of thing, but you're like a dispatcher instead of an actual hero. So there's that, and it's a Telltale game. Despolote, I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm not sure. I might be butchering it. I've heard nothing about this game, but it has a very unique art style and like aesthetic. Blueprints is fantastic. That game is so very, very good. I really like that game. And Clair Obscura Expedition 33 is an indie game. Like, if you look at the story of it, but they have a lot of funding, but their funding comes from the government and not from a publisher, like a big publisher.
Yeah, so they're just still independent.
Yeah, so a lot of people are like arguing on whether Clair Obscura Expedition 33 is an independent game or a debut independent game, because even though this developer is a new developer, they exist before at other companies. So there's a whole big hoopla about this. I think that it is. I think it is a debut indie game. And I'm probably going to vote for it now since I can't vote for Megabonk, or I'm going to vote for Blueprints. I don't know. Maybe I'll play Dispatch and make my mind up about that then. But the story about Clair Obscura Expedition 33 is they literally have like a 32 people team. And like their writer is from Reddit, and the person that makes the music they got from SoundCloud. So like that sounds pretty fucking indie to me, you know?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. I agree.
A lot of people claim that it's not true and they made all that up and yada yada yada, and I don't have any proof that that's the case or that it's not the case. But yeah, so anyway, moving on to best independent game, not debut independent game, but just independent game. Which I guess I should
dumb
ask
that they
you.
did this, but yeah.
Yeah, what would your pick have been for debut indie game? By the way,
Clair Obscura, and the same thing for best indie
for
game.
independent. Yeah, okay. So we got Absalom. I cannot pronounce this correctly. Ball Pit, Blueprints, Clair Obscura Expedition 33, Hades 2, and Hollow Knight Silksong. Again, it's Expedition 33 here. That is my vote for best independent game. If we want to go by what other people are saying, then my other pick would probably be Ball Pit or Blueprints. But yeah, I have played Absalom, which I've heard is really good. Hades 2 is a very, very good game, but I don't think it's the best indie game out of all of this list. And then again, I've already told you how I feel about Silksong.
Yeah.
So yeah, best community support. We've got Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky. I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. If No Man's Sky is on this list, I'm voting for No Man's Sky. I think the fact that they continuously put out free updates that are essentially new games is completely insane and one of the best community supports out there in the entire industry.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
it's No Man's Sky. It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
I know not to take anything away from Baldur's Gate 3 because I know they put out a bunch of modding tools and other such stuff this year, which is awesome. But No Man's Sky is a league of its own, essentially.
yeah, that's what I voted for as well, and for the next category too.
Yep, best ongoing. I also voted for No Man's Sky for this one as well. But
yeah, the two similar categories, honestly.
They have a few of those, which is really weird, but I feel like it's just padding. Like they have to pad it because I don't know, the quota or some shit.
But that's
Anyway,
the thing; they don't have to pad it. Like, I
they
think
want
it's the
more
thing that
money.
kills me the most about the Game of the Year or the Game Awards in general is like, probably when they do the presentation,
Yeah,
Jeff Keighley will just make like a side eye comment, it's like, "Oh, and winners for Games for
this thing
Impact is da
is
da da," and then
all
they'll
right.
just
Bye.
go on to the next thing.
Next
Like,
trailer.
literally won't do anything with it. It's like, why
You're right.
even have this
You're right.
category if you're not going to even
You're
celebrate
right.
it?
You're right. You know what? That's very fair. I actually agree with you completely because there's too many categories that they just glance over super quickly and they're like, let's talk to this person for 30 minutes now who's some kind of celebrity. Or here's more trailers of things that I don't even know what they are, and trailers are great. I mean that's the main reason anyone watches the Game Awards, but like maybe actually care about the games you're awarding. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah,
Best ongoing
exactly.
game has Final Fantasy 14, which I've heard they dropped the ball a lot this year. Fortnite, which they drop the ball every year. Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, and No Man's Sky. And again, it's No Man's Sky. It's as simple as that. No Man's Sky is a league all it's on when it comes to this sort of thing. Games for Impact, these are more. If it loads, I'll describe what they are. But it looks like the Game Awards site may have shot the bed again.
No, it's working for me.
Why the fuck is it working for
Nominees
me?
are Consume Me, Despelote,
No,
Lost
hold on.
Records.
A thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. That's what Games for Impact is. That's all I was gonna say.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, Consume Me, Despelote, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, South of Midnight, and Wonder Stop. Right? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Out of all of these, I've only played South of Midnight, and South of Midnight's pretty good. So,
all right. I don't care about any of these games. So,
yeah, I do feel like. So I was going through the Streamer Awards, which also had their votes for this year come out on the same day as the Game Awards, I think. And the Stream Awards, the thing that they do is every single nomination has a link that you can click that takes you to a clip of something to do with the nominee. I think if you had that minor detail here on the Game Awards, it would be a lot easier for people to pick, or at least get a general idea. So I think it's a really big missed opportunity when it comes to the Game Awards. So yeah. Moving on, we're going to go to innovation and accessibility. I gave this one to Doom: The Dark Ages because the game felt way too slow and I had the option to speed it up. So, but you can also slow it down even more. So I actually really enjoyed that. I've heard that Assassin's Creed Shadows has a lot of accessibility options. I don't know about FIFA. I don't know about EA Sports FC 26. I don't
there's
know.
a link that, like, if you look at the top of the thing, there's a link where you can like read about the specific things.
Why isn't this for any of the others?
Yeah, I was kind of wondering the same thing. And actually, when I came in the category the first time, I did not see this. It was not until I came back through again.
Mm-hmm.
And now I saw it, and I was like, oh, these are nice. But also, like, some of the stuff they put on, like the FIFA thing, they're just like, they're like, oh, you can, and I don't know, it seems really dumb. They're like, game builds upon the strong motor accessibility of the series with control customization, including 1 and 2 button modes, analog sprint, an extensive array of assists for shooting, passing, defending, switching, dribbling, and goalkeeping, and more. And it's like achieving a shift like this in a game that has a 1-year release cycle is no small feat. Like,
yeah,
okay.
Actually reading all these, this reads like Chat GPT.
Yeah, it probably is.
It feels like it is.
To be honest, they probably took like the accessibility stuff from the websites, it looks like, and then probably just fed it into Chat GPT and be like, all right, turn this into 2 paragraphs.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I mean, people need the information for it so they can vote. But like, again, this is like, this is great that that they're recognizing this, but the problem is they're not going to recognize it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. I voted for Assassin's Creed.
So let's move on to the next one that's also a point of contention. Best performance. So we have Ben Starr from Claire Obscure Expedition 33. We have Charlie Cox from Claire Obscure Expedition 33. We have Erika Ishii from Ghost of Yotoi. We have Jennifer English from Claire Obscure Expedition 33. And we have Konatsu Kato from Silent Hill F and Troy Baker from Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Listen, I love Claire Obscure Expedition 33 as much as the next person. I think it's a phenomenal game. I don't think it's fair that 3 of their performers are on this list.
Yeah, I agree. But I also want to say, too, just kind of like food for thought, the fact that they actually came back to Indiana Jones for this category should be a hint of how strong Troy Baker's performance was, considering that this game is like terribly neglected in every other category that it should be in.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is a nice thing. That I was so wildly impressed with this Indiana Jones impression. Like, if you didn't tell me it was not Harrison Ford, I probably would not have known.
Yeah, Troy Baker did a really fucking good job.
Yeah, just knocked it out of the park. That's incredible. Yeah. So that's who I voted.
So I know your vote. Yeah, my vote's for Ben Starr. Because I think he does really good in pretty much everything he's been in, and he does very, very good in Claire Obscure Expedition 33 as well. I keep having to say the full title, and it is really fucking with my fucking. I'm getting tongue twisted, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. So next we have Best Audio Design.
And this is where.
Go on.
Oh no! Finish what you were going to say.
Recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design.
Yeah, and I was going to say, this is where the Game Awards with these last few categories starts to get really fucked up, because they focus on the Game of the Year nominees and don't give a fuck about anything else.
Yes.
And so it's just going to be basically the next 6 categories are all the same games, almost.
Yep.
So I voted for Claire Obscure 33 for this one. The other nominees were... Huh?
I didn't.
The other ones, Battlefield, Death Stranding, Ghost of Yotoi, and Silent Hill F, because we didn't actually say what they were because I interrupted you.
Yes.
So
Battlefield 6's audio is actually broken in a lot of ways. The directional audio doesn't work correctly, so I don't know why it's even on this fucking list. It is not good. It has very bad audio design. Ghost of Yotoi is very good. It has a lot of good ambient sounds, and it has these really cool elements of being able to hear like the wind move from one side of your ear to the other if you're like wearing headphones and that sort of deal. And I guess probably if you also use like surround sound or whatever, but I don't do that. So when I'm wearing headphones, I hear a lot of little subtleties when it comes to Ghost of Yotoi and it's very good. I haven't played Death Stranding, but I'm sure it's great. Claire Obscure Expedition 33. A lot of its audio, even though it's very, very good, it is drowned out very much so by its phenomenal soundtrack. So I actually didn't vote for it in this category, and instead voted for Silent Hill F, because I think, like many other horror games, Silent Hill goes above and beyond when it comes to the actual like footsteps and the really creepy atmosphere and this audio that you can hear like behind you or like down the hall or something. There's a lot of little nuances with the audio cues in Silent Hill F that work really, really well. So that's why I voted for that.
Very fair.
Moving on, we're on Best Score in Music. So we got Christopher Larkin with Hollow Knight Silksong, Darren Cobb with Hades 2, Lorraine Tessard with Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Tomo Otoa with Ghost of Yotei, Woodkid and Ludwig Forsell with Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. And those are our 5 nominees for this one. Yeah, I think... Go on, sorry.
Oh, I voted for Claire Obscura because of how much you guys talked about it. I'm going to say absolute tragedy that Mario Kart World was not nominated for this. Did they just not do it because they had multiple composers and they didn't just want to be like assorted? Because there's nowhere in this category that says it only has to be made by like 2 people. The soundtrack in that game's fucking phenomenal. But And it's not like there's any rule that's like, oh, you can only have like 5 things in a category. Like you can put more in. We've
If you
done it
look, we've
before.
actually seen 6
Yeah,
in like
on a few.
literally the last one, I think.
Yeah. And there's no shortage of games with great music, and for them to just be like, all right, we're just gonna keep
Yeah.
sticking with the same 5 games again, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Like fucking dumb. But Claire Obscura does have a good soundtrack, so
Its
I'm fine
soundtrack
with that.
is
But
like the best soundtrack I've heard since Nier. It is just otherworldly how good it is. So that is
yeah.
also my pick. And yeah. Hey, look, best art direction. Now
Oh
we're gonna
wow,
go
it's
on
the
to.
same 5 games.
It's the same 5 games. It's Claire
Crazy.
Obscure Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yote, Hades 2, and Hollow Knight Silksong. It's the same shit. And
Yeah,
again, I'm voting for Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
that's what I did too. Yeah, it's like, and that's the thing. It's like I don't know. It's like, did they just put? I mean, granted, like these games are all good. Like I'm not.
Mhm.
What I'm about to say. I don't mean this in a negative way, but it's almost like they did this to force everyone to vote in like the same way. Like if you have a horse in this race, you were going to end up voting for the same thing over and over and over and over again.
And I think
Um,
you're right.
yeah,
Because
and they do this every
then it
year,
puts
and
people into
like
little
I don't know why, but
categories.
it's very frustrating to me this year.
Yeah.
Because like
I
there's
think because
lots of
this
great
year
stuff.
is such a good year for gaming. This is
Yeah,
easily one of the best years we've had in a very, very long time for video games.
yeah. Like
It's
another
so
game
good.
that would be really great for this or for art direction, Indiana Jones. Really good. The game looks fucking phenomenal. It looks like watching a movie. Nowhere on here, like nothing. And they're just like, okay, yeah. And I agree, it is a great year for games, but like I said, there's room for more than 5 games in these categories,
Yeah.
so there's no
No,
reason to
I
be an
agree.
asshole and just put the same 5 games in every category.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
yeah.
Moving on, we go to best narrative. Want to guess what's here? Actually, it's different. So for best narrative, we have for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game, we have Claire Obscure Expedition 33. By the way, I'm saying it that way because that's the way Jeff Keighley said it when he was naming nominees. He's like, Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Motherfucker sounded like a straight up robot. Like he kept getting the name incorrect when he was trying to say it before. Death
Yeah.
Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yote, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and Silent Hill F. I have played 3 of these, and the answer is still Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Hey, that's
But
what
it
I
is
voted for
nice
too.
to see 2 other games here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to see Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 show up, and it's also nice to see Silent Hill F show up. They're not going to win, but it's nice to see different things here.
Yeah.
So, then we go to best game direction, which this category just seems stupid to me. Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. None of these are really innovative, like at all. So
Yeah.
we've got Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yote, Hades 2, and Split Fiction. Now let me just break this down real quick. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 does innovate on the RPG aspect by adding the ability to dodge and parry in the middle of actually, being a turn-based RPG, which is really neat and really cool and adds another like element to an RPG game, a turn-based RPG game, and is super neat. Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, it's already unique because there's no other game like Death Stranding 2 other than Death Stranding. But then again, that's not, it's not innovating. It's just doing more weird, unique shit that it's already done in the other game, but adding on to it. So it's kind of like iterative, but then like also adding more to it. Ghost of Yote, I don't know why it's here, period. This is just Ghost of Tsushima. Why is this here? I don't know. And Hades 2, why is this here? It's Hades again, but in some cases better with extra stuff added. Again, not super innovative. And then Split Fiction, which even though we have 2 other games that are like this, I mean, even though there are only 2 other games like this, there's still 2 other games made by the same developer like this. This entire category is just bullshit. Like, it is. There's, like, no real innovation here.
Nope.
If we removed that word and just said, like, outstanding creative vision, I think this would be a better category.
Yeah.
Like maybe
more
best.
accurate for what they're actually
Yeah,
nominating for.
exactly. So like again, my pick, because it's the only one that I think actually has some form of innovation, is Clair Obscur Expedition 33, because I haven't played many JRPGs that are turn-based that involve giving me the ability to jump, dodge, or parry attacks from enemies. There are some, but not on the level of this. So taking into account the creative vision and innovation portion, there's at least a little bit of innovation there. So that's why I voted for Clair Obscur in this. But like, I want to give it to Split Fiction. I want to give it to Death Stranding too. But like, going by their actual description, Clair Obscur is the only one that fits this category.
Yeah. I mean, even Indiana Jones would probably be a really strong contender in this category too. Because I feel like they did a lot more unique stuff there that you just don't see as much in some games. But
yeah, like with the puzzles and stuff, and
yeah,
an open world, which is quite different from your normal like open world first person.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
they did some neat stuff with there. Yeah, like the puzzles and kind of the world building, the exploration. Like I thought that stuff was all. I mean, granted, bits and pieces have been done individually, but
I was
not
gonna say,
kind of
I'm
like
gonna say this right
in the whole
now.
package.
You gotta get on some immersive sims. I gotta get you onto some immersive sims, because Indiana Jones was just a really, really good immersive sim.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a ton of games like that. Like, I think Indiana Jones does it really, really well. But I think there are other games that have that kind of genre that you probably haven't played because you didn't know what they were. But if you knew that they were like Indiana Jones, you would probably like them,
Yeah,
even though they
probably.
are like a different genre, obviously. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like the Deus Ex games, like all of those are immersive sims. You know how you could tackle things differently in Indiana Jones, and it gives you a lot of openings to be able to decide how you're going to do this, that, and the other get from point A to point B. And it's like not really a large open world, but like a big hub where it's like sectioned off into places and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
The remakes of the Deus Ex games, those are really good about that. And there's other games, especially indie titles, that are really, really good when it comes to that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on from that, best game direction, I'm giving to Clair Obscur Expedition 33. But again, we're kind of getting pigeonholed again, but we did see Split Fiction show up here, which is at least something different.
Yeah.
So, and then we got Game of the Year, and this is overall Game of the Year. It's the last one, it's the big one, and it goes down to, and this one's a little weird. We got 6 of them here. So we're dropping the 5 category thing that we had before and a lot of these others. We've got 6
magically.
Here. Mm-hmm. And we have Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza. Where the fuck did it come from?
Yeah,
why wasn't it in other categories?
Yep. Yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. At least that one makes sense because it showed up in a lot of other categories. But I do feel like maybe it should have been in even more categories, with it making it to Game of the Year somehow. So,
well, apparently Game of the Year means recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. So you think you would see it more than like twice, but hey, you know. So there's that.
So,
I'm just gonna say right now, Clair Obscur should win. I voted for Donkey Kong out of spite. So
you know what? I can't even be mad at you, because Donkey Kong's not gonna win.
But no, it's not gonna win. Not by a long shot. And especially considering it was in like one other category.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even meet the requirements for this category according to the Game Awards. Mm-hmm. But for some reason it was shoveled in here. So you know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna vote for it. I voted for you forced me to vote for Clair Obscura for like 7 other categories. So I'm not gonna vote for it this time, even though it deserves to win. And I think actually out of all the categories I voted for, that's the one that it deserves to win this one more than the other times that I was there. But you were douchebags about the other options in the other categories, and I was forced to vote for it. And so now
here's the question:
mm-hmm.
This is the first category you see when you start the game of the Game Awards nominees. They start with Game of the Year.
Yeah,
you'll notice I started backwards because I just think it's really stupid to start with Game of the Year.
Yeah, and
If
actually, I
you
mean, that's a really good
had
point because
started with Game of the Year, would you have voted Claire Obscure Expedition 33 without, would you have voted differently? Because you hadn't seen all the
mm,
other categories it's in yet.
I honestly think yes, because my
Yeah.
plan originally was to
Mhm.
vote for Claire Obscura, and I
Yep.
got pissed off as we were going through the
Mhm.
categories, and I'm like, fuck this. I agree. And you know what? Honestly, too, that's a really good point because that's
Yep.
also going to steer people to keep voting for the same stuff through all of the categories because
Yep.
they're going to vote for Game of the Year first, and they're going to be like,
Yep.
well, if this is Game of the Year, it must be the best of everything.
Exactly.
And yeah,
Exactly. Exactly. And I get it, but I also think it's really dumb to start with Game of the Year as your vote. I just don't think that's a good idea. But then
yeah.
you proved the exact opposite, where people might get jaded and annoyed at seeing the same shit over and over again. So they
But
vote
the
for
thing is,
something
like,
different.
you shouldn't see the same shit over
Yeah,
again. That's the problem. Like,
you're right.
that should have never been an issue in the first place. Like we said, there's lots of great games this year.
Hmm.
There's lots of, I mean, there's dumb categories in this
Yep.
thing, but like, there's a wide variety of categories. There's no reason we should see the same like 6 games over and over and over and over and over again. Like,
I
there's
do
more
agree,
good
but
shit
I
than
do
just
think
those
Claire.
six.
I do agree, but I do think Claire Obscure should be in every category it's nominated for.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think it's a really strong game, and like I said, I think it should win too. But
You
like
ever plan
at
on playing it?
least, huh?
You ever plan on
I've
playing
not.
it?
No, I have not.
It's on. Well, no, I was saying, do you plan on trying it?
Oh, do I plan? I will play eventually. Yeah, I am. I'm
It's
just kind of waiting for it. I'm just kind of. I'm still holding out that it probably will come to Switch because
okay.
I prefer to play it there.
That's
I
fair.
could pick it up on Xbox. Like it's
Yep.
not an issue. But I rarely turn on my Xbox.
I
So
understand. I understand
um
completely.
so it's just I'd rather play it on a system that I like really enjoy and can take around with me
Yep.
and because I'd say I mean honestly I do play a lot on my TV but
Hmm.
I would say I'm probably close to like I don't want to say 50-50 but like my TV use is definitely more than my portable
Hmm.
use but it's significant enough that I'm disappointed when I cannot play things on them at home.
Hmm. I see.
um, that's what I would say. So I like it's nice to have it because there are just times where I can't play on the
Yeah.
TV because DJ's watching a movie or TV or
Hmm.
whatever, and usually because I have the Switch, I will just give him the TV and I'll just play portably. Um, but so I prefer games that I can do that with. It's not a deal
Hmm.
breaker for me. There are games that I will play without it, like Indiana Jones, for example.
Yeah.
We talked about that a lot, but yeah, so I'm holding out hope. I have a feeling that it probably will because it's doing so well. It's sold very well. It's got a lot of things, and people have been asking for it. But we'll see.
I do think it'll get ported to the Switch too. I do think it will be a little while because it is a Unreal Engine
Small
5
team,
game and it
yeah,
is a small team. So you got those two things kind of working against it. But I do think that it will probably win Game of the Year and get announced for Switch 2. Like immediately. Sort of like how Wukong got announced for Xbox when it was in Game of the Year last year. So I think that'll happen again here. Um,
yeah. And
Clair
there's
Obscur
a
is a very special game, though. I highly recommend playing it.
yeah, and there is I just kind of searched about it since we talked about 2
I'm
months
actually playing
ago.
it with Katie right now because
Oh, nice.
she hasn't played it. So me and her are going through it now, and she's loving it.
Yeah. But apparently about 2 months ago, the studio commented that what was it? That they're exploring the possibility of bringing it to the Switch too. So,
Hmm.
and kind of like actually speaking of things, because this was actually a rumor this last week about Grand Theft Auto 6. So I think it was today. I think I read it
Oh
honestly.
yeah, that's right.
But apparently there's a rumor that they're also exploring bringing Grand Theft Auto 6 to the Switch too, which makes sense. But the
Yep.
people pointed out like exploring does not mean making. Exploring
Yep.
means like, hey, let's
Thinking
try
about it.
some basic things, see if we can get the core experience running. If it does, then we'll develop, resources into it. If not, then we know, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, it definitely is a reasonable thing. I mean, I feel like that game probably be a little bit more optimistic for it, considering. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But I would pick it up. That is a game I really do want to play. So that one's kind of high up on my list
Yeah.
for that.
So when you do get on that, we gotta have a conversation about it because I want to hear your thoughts.
Did you ever end up beating it?
No, I stopped like on the after the second chapter,
Mm-hmm.
third, second, like halfway through it anyway. But mostly stopped. Other things kind of got in the way. But there's enough there already in the like 12 hours I've played of it, maybe even 14 hours I've played of it, and then there's enough I've experienced when going back and playing with Katie that I mean it wins. It's just simple as that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. Like I
because
said,
I've
I
actually
definitely
experienced
seen
some
it for that.
different things while playing it with Katie that I didn't experience it when I played it myself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that was interesting because I'm kind of when I see like a story based game, I'm kind of like go straight, go do the thing, do the story, get the story. You go through the stuff, and I don't really explore as much. And because Katie has explored some, she's found things that I didn't. So yeah,
Yeah. That's pretty awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, but I would, like I said, I would definitely play that game in
Mm-hmm.
the future. If it doesn't end up coming to Switch, I probably will eventually get it on Xbox, but I'm waiting.
And it's a
Uh,
$40 game or $45 game. It's fairly cheap, especially like that's another thing that I think it has going
mhm.
for it. This is a game that has a substantial amount of content, is very well made, is very very good, and it's only like $45. And then you have these other people that are like, "Oh, our game needs to be $100," and it's like, bro, shut the fuck up. If I look at something like Claire Obscure, I look at something like Hollow Knight Silk Song, which although it may not be clicking as much for me, I still look at the content there. I still look at what we have there for the price, which is $20, and I'm just
Mhm.
like, why the fuck would I ever want to pay $100 for a video game when I get this kind of quality elsewhere?
Yeah.
And I get this sort of game, I get this sort of quality, I get this sort of content, all of this stuff for way cheaper, and I can enjoy it more. So
Yeah, that's very fair. I mean, I know we've talked about, game prices a lot this
hmm
last year, but, really just at the end of the day, it really comes down to like, you know, what your preferences are on games. Like,
yeah, of course, of course.
yeah. Um, I remember Scott the Woz said something really great about it. I don't remember what it was now, but basically it was like you need to make up your own mind on
hmm
game prices. Nobody can tell you if price is worth it or not. And really kind of depends on, what you like, what you want to play, and what you think you're gonna get out of it. So
Scott the Woz
yeah.
is so fucking good. He is one of my favorite YouTubers.
I know. But I mean, it's really true. I mean, it's like there's a lot of people that are getting like all bent out of shape about prices and different things. But if someone wants to
I
pay $70 for something, like that's
I think
their
getting
thing.
I
So
think getting bent out of shape about someone else's choice is really stupid. But I
exactly,
do think criticism is fair to have, not of the person, but of the company putting out the
yes.
thing in
And
question.
those are two very different
Very
things.
different things. Very, very
Yes.
different things. Yes, totally agree.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
I think that is a discussion that needs to be had, not necessarily a discussion of dragging people when they make decisions based off of
Yeah.
what
And it's
they want.
and
That sort
it's even okay if someone buys the game and then still criticizes the price. That's
Yep.
also fine.
Yep. In fact, I think
Um,
it's more valuable if someone does do that because you
mhm.
have their point of view based off of someone that actually purchased it and experienced the product in question.
Yeah.
I think all these
So
people are like saying like, "Oh, you can't criticize it because you bought it, so you bought into it." And it's like, no, I think I have more of a reason to criticize it because I did buy it and I did experience it, and not through the lens of some YouTuber or other bullshit. I
yeah.
know what the game actually is because I physically played it and I can give you my thoughts on it. And
Mhm.
if I'm telling you that I think that the price of $80 for Mario Kart was really fucking stupid, then me as someone that put like 20 hours into that game probably has a little bit more of a valid opinion than some random dude that's making it based off of their favorite YouTuber. Just saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And even too, like, some of those things can change over time too.
Yeah, yeah, and
Um,
it could be through content that's added. You know?
Yeah, or even just kind of like to just change the situation. Like I don't know if you remember this, like one of my favorite games, Metroid Zero Mission, was like
Yes,
pretty shit on when it came out, uh, because it was a short game,
it is a
but
short
it was
game.
yeah, because it was a full price.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't buy it then because I was like, oh, it's short, and I hated the first Metroid so much. Like those are
Mhm.
both reasons why I didn't end up buying. But I ended up playing
Yeah.
it later, and I'm like, this is one of my like literally one of my favorite games of all time. And I would have had knowing that in retrospect, I would have had no problem paying for it, but I just
Yeah.
didn't know it at the time. Um,
Well,
and
I
now it's
think
not
there's
even an issue
also
anymore.
I think
No.
there's also something to be said about that, right? Because here's the question: in
Hmm.
retrospect, would you have not had a problem paying for it when you were a kid, when you wanted that, when money was a bit tighter, or you could only get so many games and that sort of thing, and then you have to value your product that you're buying or really make it last, so that sort of deal, like going from birthday to Christmas or whatever, and that sort of deal. I do think there is a conversation to be had there, because I think you can value something more based off of the experience you had with it as a kid, or
Yeah.
less based off the experience you had with it as a kid than what it's actually than what the actual product is. Because you
Oh
as an
yeah.
adult, you can just buy that game now. You can
Hmm.
just own that game now. You can just do this, that, and the other. It's a little bit different when you're a kid, and that's why sometimes kids buy those really shitty compilation games and play them to, you know, until no end, because that's all they had.
Yeah.
And then maybe they bought that so they could get a controller or what have you, and then they just make the best out of it. So
Hmm.
it's I think it's very different. Uh, you know, your childhood games and like what you can purchase then versus what you can purchase now, and having that kind of opinion on something, because I probably would have been pretty upset and maybe even hated Metroid Zero Mission if I bought it as a kid, because like I just paid $50 for this and it was like an hour and a half. What the fuck? This fucking sucks. This is such a garbage game. And then I may take that thought with me into adulthood and not think of it from a different perspective because of how burned I was as a kid. So I do
Yeah.
think there's two conversations to be had there.
Yeah. Well, actually, even kind of the other side though too, because uh, not relevant to today, but relevant to when we were kids. It was pretty easy to rent video games when we were kids.
That's true, but
Um,
not handheld games. So let's at least make that distinction.
um,
Did you ever
I
have
mean,
a
it
place
was
that rented
possible to do,
handheld?
just not as easy.
Okay.
Not as common.
I never had a place that rented handheld games.
I think
I
it's
mean, I think we had one Hollywood Video that did at one point, but they went away pretty quickly.
yeah, I want to say for us, I think we
And
had a local
Blockbuster
place
didn't.
that did it, and yeah, Blockbuster did not. I also think the library rented them out too, if I remember as well.
Oh,
Uh,
that's one I never really think about that much. Okay, that makes
yeah,
sense.
our library rented out video games and movies. It was pretty nice. Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, but those kind of things, like, because you can think about it like another way, like it's like what was it? Because we've talked about it like so many times before, but it's like when Mario RPG came out when I was a kid in like '96
Mhm.
or whatever. That game was $70. I also rented that game for like 3 months straight. So I probably like in that time probably spent like $200 on that game.
That's pretty crazy.
um, yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
I probably did the same with Rush, San Francisco Rush on the N64. I
Mhm.
rented that game so many times, instead of just outright buying it. And I probably spent like $300 on that motherfucker.
Yeah. Um, and just it's just kind of like, I mean, a lot of what we enjoy these days is really like, I mean, really good point you made. Like, just kind of shaped by what we ended up playing as
Hmm.
a kid, or like circumstances we had as a kid. Um, and then that kind of makes a big difference. Like, I also think very lovingly of Tetris Attack, and I've never owned that
Mm,
game, but I've rented it.
that game's
Um,
really good though. Like
yeah,
actually
it is
really
really
good.
good. And the only
Yeah.
reason I rented it was because Blockbuster was doing a deal where if you rented Tetris Attack, you got to rent another game for free.
Hell yeah, brother.
Um,
Oh, dude,
yeah.
I really like Crackdown, and I only bought Crackdown so I could get the beta for Halo.
Oh yeah, a lot of people did that.
Hmm.
That was
Hmm.
like a wildly popular game at the time because of that.
Yeah, that was a really good game too. But I never
Mhm.
would have played it if it wasn't for the fact that there was a Halo beta attached to it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we survived
Man,
Game of the Year.
I want to play Crackdown.
Go play Crackdown.
I don't have a copy.
Go make a copy.
That's a little bit difficult when it comes to 360 emulation.
No, I'm not saying emulate. Just build one yourself. Just open up game dev, game maker, whatever.
Game maker and make Crackdown. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, make your own Crackdown, but you got to make it exactly the same.
Just be like, you know what? Microsoft can't make a good Crackdown, but I made this with Game Dev Studio and sticks in a fucking basement. Fuck you, Microsoft, and being garbage at making games now.
I made it from scratch.
I was trying to do the the fucking Tony Stark thing. He made it in a cave with sticks. Or the fucking first Iron Man. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm actually like, I just make myself sad because I'm just so disappointed in Microsoft and how everything's going for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hold on. One other bit of news, if you don't mind. Okay. I know this is already going a little bit long, but Steam announced a computer that is a game console, but not the Steam machine. I actually would like to really go more in depth with this. So can we talk about this next week? Because I'm sure we'll have more information on it. But yeah, Steam announced a little box that is sort of like a game console, but it is a PC that they'll be mass producing, kind of like the Steam Deck. But instead, it's like an entry-level computer that's supposed to be like a living room style computer that runs off of the same OS as the Steam Deck. And it's about, I think they said 6 times more powerful than it. But I think other than that, that's all I want to say about it right now, because I want to see more information, because there's a lot of like videos coming out now. So we'll meet back up and talk about that next week. But yeah, it looks pretty interesting, and I think if the price is right, it'd be pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it could be a very big contender.
Yeah.
In the gaming space. Hypothetically thinking, I probably should save this for next week, but I'll just kind of say it too. I mean, it could really disrupt the game space. It's kind of like if you kind of imagine like worst case scenario, and I don't mean worst case scenario for the console, I mean worst case scenario for like Sony. If Steam puts out that system comparably priced to the PlayStation, assuming it probably would support PlayStation controllers.
That's the way the Steam OS works. It supports every controller. Like, I could plug a GameCube controller into it and it would fucking work.
So there's that. And then assuming it supports the PlayStation games that are available on Steam, why the fuck would you buy a PlayStation?
It would also support the PlayStation games that aren't available even on PlayStation through emulation, with like 2 clicks. So like, that's kind of fucking wild too, because it's also a computer. So you could literally install emulators, which they've gotten so easy to install, especially with like SteamOS's install setup. It is insanely easy to install an emulator on SteamOS, and there's like even a package that installs all of them for you and sets them all up automatically. And if you were to install something like that, then you would have more games than Sony would, like as a PC gamer, which is kind of fucking wild to think about.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm gonna call it now, assuming that this is actually like ends up being like a reasonable deal. I think Sony's gonna rethink their PC strategy. We'll see.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? I think you're correct in a sense. I think this will push them to make their own launcher harder, because I don't think they're gonna pull out a PC, because they've already invested in an entire development team specifically.
I also don't think they're going to pull out a PC.
And also that in their last 2 Sony things, they've advertised specifically PC products.
Yeah, I think it's more that they're gonna double down on timed exclusivity and make sure that things are like things aren't coming straight to PC like they kind of started to, and they're gonna be like, okay, it's gonna be at least a year. I think that's kind of probably more the direction that they'll go, because the people that they're going to want the most are going to be the first adopters anyways. Then it will give them kind of a good good cleanup on Switch, or not Switch,
Mhm.
on Steam, and then then down the road, then they'll hit the Steam sales and things like that, and they'll probably do really well.
Legitimately, I think I think it's going to be the opposite direction. I think they are going to double down on PC because they do have a market now on PC that they've created. They have a team that they have paid to make PC things, and if they can continuously pump out PC games, then they can actually offset the cost of these other huge, massive AAA games that they're making for their PS5. So I do think that they will continue to port them to PC, and I do think they'll actually be closer to day and date, because what they'll end up doing is they will release day and date on the PlayStation app, which won't be usable probably with the Steam machine, but they won't release day and date on Steam.
Yeah,
And
I mean, if
then
they go that
and
route, I
then
mean, that's
the
there
play
too.
because there's also the thing that people saw recently, and I don't know how true it is. I haven't looked fully into it, but recently people saw where there was cross buy on PS5 titles, and what the fuck is the cross buy for? Nothing exists that you can cross buy that PS5 title for. So what's going on? Are they doing like Microsoft, where you can have the games anywhere, where you buy your title and then you can play it potentially on your PC through the PlayStation app? It's something to think about, and I honestly think that is the direction they'll end up going instead.
Yeah, I mean, the big linchpin in your theory though is they have to make the app, because they won't, it won't work if they just stay on Steam. Like, they have to separate out.
You're right. Yeah, and
Because
I agree with that. But I do think if so, like I have those Sony headphones that I used, right? And those already required like Sony applications and stuff. And I do think that if they, and now they have the speakers that are coming out and the monitor that's coming out, and all of that is also in the same Sony application. And I do think they'll end up doing kind of like NVIDIA GeForce does, where all of their stuff is bundled into one application. And I think they're probably waiting for that hardware to release before going about doing something like that. That's my assumption. We'll see what happens, but that's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm sure we'll probably know soon enough. There was also some rumors recently that Sony's rethinking their PC strategy.
That rumor,
as well.
and here so I've actually looked into that. That rumor is from a person called Jez Corden. Jez Corden is a Xbox person, and they put out that rumor, and that rumor was from them being on a podcast, literally saying what you just said, where they said, yeah, I think with the Steam machine coming out in the future, that Sony will probably have to rethink their PC strategy. And then a bunch of fanboys grabbed that clip and said, he knows something. He knows because he's part of the industry, when he's literally an Xbox guy. And he quite literally said in the rest of the podcast, I don't know anything. I'm just making assumptions, kind of like we just had that conversation about. And people have been running with that and claiming that that's a rumor that's going around, when it's not. It's literally just something someone said on a podcast.
I did see that part, but I also saw something else about it, and I don't remember what it was now.
I mean, the actual rumor that's going around that I've seen was from a PlayStation guy who apparently has gotten many of the rumors correct that they've gone through, and they actually said that Sony is planning to double down on PC, which is the exact opposite of what either of us are even talking about.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. And again, all of this shit is rumor. We don't fucking know which one it is. But I do know for sure that the Jez Corden rumor was false information spread by just taking one dude's comment on a podcast.
Yeah, and I can even see that he like tripled down. He's like, I
don't
know anything.
I don't know anything. Yeah, exactly. But all these people are claiming he knows stuff, and he's like, I never said that. Why are you fucking lying, basically? So yeah, and then those people took that rumor and made their own rumor, and then it just kind of spiraled out of control, and the guy's like, I don't think that's true. And then another guy who does PlayStation things specifically came forward, and he's like, I've actually heard the exact opposite, where Sony is planning to go full on into PC because they've already created a market for themselves, but now they need to find a way to corner that market, and they want to do that by doubling down on their PC strategy. And that's a totally different rumor. But again, just a rumor. So like, it's two conflicting different things, but one of the conflicting things was just a thing that continuously got spread by different people and different people adding more to it. And the whole thing was based off of a baseless rumor in the first place. So like it's all kind of a mess, to be completely honest.
Yeah, so we'll find out. We'll know, I'm sure, soon enough. So
yep. Those Sony speakers look really good, and Sony's really good when it comes to audio, and so does that monitor. I really want that monitor, but I know with how expensive fucking Sony monitors are, that motherfucker's going to be like $900.
Oh, probably.
I make good quality hardware though, so
yeah,
it's just it's overpriced.
Yeah. All right. Anything else to talk about before we wrap up?
Nope, but like I said, we'll come back next week when I've got more information on the Steam machine and talk about that.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have some more information by then.
There's a lot of videos. I just haven't watched them because they're like fucking hours long. So that's why I'm saying that.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's wrap it up then.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to us tonight. Don't forget, you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. You can find all of our old episodes on game-crunch.com. And if you want to reach out to us, gamecrunchcast@gmail.com. Brandon.
Hi.
Any final thoughts?
No, I'm good.
All right. That said, my name is Mike Anastasia. Find me online. I'm Clash Penguin there, or on your favorite gaming console. And until next week, game on.
Game on.
Spotlights spinning through the night, a crown of pixels burning bright. Dreams are born in cold and fight. Who will stand the victor's right? One chance, one spark, one name, the whispers rise, they call the same. Game of the year, the throne is near, hearts are pounding loud and clear. Game on, the stage is set, the world's not ready, not just yet. Heroes fall, but legends stay. The joystick kings, they light the way. Through shadowed lands, through skies of gray, a million voices, hear them play. One shot, one dream, one flame, the echoes shout, it's not a game.
Look at that.
There.
Look at that. That was a lot.
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, I didn't expect it to actually take that long, but
no, it's okay. But that's why I was like, "Yep, I'm not gonna talk about my games because I know where they're going." Because I remember this episode every year we end up running. Like,
I was trying to run
long.
through it as fast as humanly possible. There was just a lot to talk about.
And we still skipped like 6 categories.
We did, but I don't.
But they were dumb categories too.
I mean, I will say one of the categories is content creator of the year. It's really funny because I don't know. Do you ever watch Critical? You know who Critical is?
No, I've no
Critical,
fucking clue.
Penguin Zero, Charlie. Anyway, he's very, very well known, and he got nominated, and he's like, I don't want to be nominated for this shit because essentially he is just a dude that somehow got famous, and he kind of doesn't like it. And they still nominated him for best content creator.